So we're gonna fight in Atlantis. Why not? Hope you brought your raincoat and your flipper. First up, Spaceman from the Union.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of...
What a pleasure to be. So here we go. Should be a good one. By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. Punch, counter punch. Those counter punches have to hurt. Threw the left uppercut, but it misses. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Everybody's got their eye on the champion. You have to defend that belt. Clearly, that's not allowed. Nice counter shot. And he scores with the counter. That is illegal. Upset right here. Powder keg goes down. Took the wind out of him and the will to continue.
I've got to see that again. One, two, three, four. Come to me.
You gotta wonder how big of a factor that knockdown's gonna be. We just saw.
I love the response. Push it off. Get on with the job.
The referee calling for seconds out, right back into the action. On to the second round. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
What a heavy knockdown. How are they going to come back from that? They staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up, alert them again, get them back on point again. This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your head clear.
How about that time counter shot? How about that time counter shot? They exchange punches. You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect. That is illegal. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Did you see that? What a massive upset this would be. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout.
Wow, you know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, Bo, ring away. You walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
There's the bell for round 3. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
The only fear you have with this heavyweight is has he punched himself out? What are they thinking? That's clearly illegal. The stamina is off the charts. They exchange punches. There's nothing quite like the chemistry between a fighter. The straight right just misses. He threw a punch and just got countered. That's not legal. And shoot. They exchange punches. Incredible work rate. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Well, you can't do that, can you? The corner is outraged, and yes, the referee will step in and deduct a point.
About time, ref.
That bell. Back at it in round 4. Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. This is a historical moment. Not many boxers get to 50 fights. An absolute warrior. Holding nothing back here in the round. Can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. Big hook thrown, but it doesn't connect. This boxer is a real hook specialist. Their opponent has got to watch out for that. And Spaceman goes down. Everything looks better in slow motion. Let's take another.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Apparently it's going to take more than that to keep this fighter down.
What resilience to be down and to be back up again, to get yourself back into fight again, to show your fitness, Andy.
Hold on, got to cut you off here, Johnny. And he's been blown up like a powder keg. Down he goes. I want to see that again, but from a different angle.
Where did that come from? What a shot.
I don't know who's got the advantage here after both men tasted the canvas in that round.
And they were heavy.
On to the fifth we go. What is this round going to look like after all the drama of the previous round where both of these athletes went down?
That is showing the fitness, that is showing the stamina, that is showing the hard work done in the gym. If you can get knocked down and get back up and knock your opponent down, they've got it.
Well done with that counter shot. Is he going to punch? Hold that thought! Are we about to see a first round knockout? Keeping those gloves up, the guard high, paying dividends as it seems that moment of trouble has passed.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. They exchange punches. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Perfect counter land. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. He is down big time on the scores.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what? Next round, you're getting it.
This round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure.
That is illegal. And that you cannot do, and the referee quickly on top of things, and he's going to deduct a point.
Finally, a referee that knows how to do his job right.
Perfect counter lands. That counter punch caught him clean. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. They're entering the twilight years of their career now. How many fights do they have left in them? How about that time counter shot? There's a counter shot. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Perfect counter shot. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. start wondering how much work these two fighters did in the gym.
This is when you talk about championship material.
Here we go, it's round 7. They let it all hang out in the last round. What do they got left?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
And he scores with the counter. They miss with the jab. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. A perfect counter lands. This fighter, one of the top 5 in the world, no doubt about it. How about that time counter shot? Nice counter shot. Beautiful counter shot. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. How much cardio was put in for this fight? It may come down to that.
There's a lot on the line here.
There's the bell for round 8. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
How about that time counter shot? The straight right just misses. And he scores with the counter. Well done with that counter shot. The right hook just missed. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Punch, counter punch. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you.
And make some spaceman for spaceman. He's been dropped. One punch did the trick. Let's see it again in slow motion.
Shot from the gods, they say. A shot from the gods.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Listen to me. Are you okay?
They're on their feet, but is this the beginning of the end?
He's up, but for how long? Look at her. On the heels. Look at, there's nothing there. There's no defense. The eyes are glazed. He just takes one more clear shot. A clean one. And he's out of there.
Nice catch. So we enter the final 10 seconds here in a pretty dominant display. Let's see how the game plan changes after that big knockdown.
You've been put down. You've got to think.
And we enter the ninth. He couldn't finish him off in the last round. Let's see what this has in store for us.
Todd, listen to me. If I knock somebody down like that round, you know this round coming out? He's getting everything, full barrel, because I know his legs are gone. So this, you watch what's going to happen. If he doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised.
Punch, counter punch. This fighter has a very good win-loss record and will be tough to beat. That counter shot lands. The only fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. The straight right just misses. This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Stamina is always an issue in a prize fight.
You cannot gas out if you prepare.
It's round 10. Not sure these two fighters can keep up the pace we saw last round, but you know they're going to try.
What were they doing that round? Are they trying to get an early night? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
The stamina is off the charts. And that jab just missed with the left hand, and Powder Keg goes to the canvas. And you can see here on the replay a perfect body shot, and he dropped like a loose suit.
Even I've got to see that again. Where did that come from?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You on 10.
Can't believe they managed to beat the count, but that could be the last hurrah.
But now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up. They've got to tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right.
You need to turn this around halfway through.
Is that but ever hope? Remember the fight at Evander Holyfield? He could be behind on points up until the last 10 seconds, but he's fighting like he's going to pull it back. That's the kind of hope we need to see.
Good counter punch. Perfect counter shot. Swing and a miss with that hook. Just misses with that uppercut. Hold it right there. And he's been blown up like a powder keg. Down he goes. That punch to the head looks so good live. Let's see it again in slow motion and really appreciate it.
That's lights out right there.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're out.
So it's onward Up first.
This bound is skipped.
What a pleasure it is to be here in this environment. What? These two fighters promised us an offensive show. Let's see if they deliver. Nice counter shot. That jab doesn't find a home. Beautiful counter shot. He threw a punch and just got countered. The straight right just misses. When are we going to see a jab from these two? And make some space, man, for Spaceman. He's been dropped. I don't know. I got to take another look at that.
I need to see that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So they're back on their feet, but let's see how much they have left in the tank.
Some fighters, when this happens, this can be heartbreaking. Some fighters, it makes them angry. They want to get back into the mix again. I want to know, what sort of character are we looking at here?
Halfway through the round, and I think we all know who's winning here.
The corners must be so happy. Down to a T, play the plan out to a T. If they can pick up momentum and do this over and over and over again, they've got it.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Incredible work rate. And he just missed with that left jab. So we enter the final 10 seconds here in a pretty dominant display. So it's plan B time after being knocked down in that. Here we go, round 2. Who's going to land the first big shot? Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very surprised.
The referee not going to be happy with that illegal move. Will the referee stop it? Looks like trouble was averted.
Green Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Nice counter. Those counter punches have to hurt. Both fighters landing in these exchanges. Judge is going to have a tough job.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
The champion is back for another defense. Nice defense there, blocking the hook. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. A lot of effort being exerted here. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
Every second, every minute of this fight.
Here we go in round 3. Who's going to land the first big shot? Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
And Spaceman goes down. Thank goodness we've got instant replay. We get to...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So back into the fray again, but how much do they have left?
Hard, he's up. I'll be surprised if he makes it back to the corner. And if he does, will he get back up from the stool again? That was a shot.
You know they have an amazing relationship with their coach. They've been working together for a while now, and it's really paying off. Pretty good start the first half of this round.
No doubt at all. You can see who's winning. You can see who's got it in hand. You can see...
Outer keg goes down. And that body shot folded in like an old...
1, 2, 3, 4. Come to me.
The referee says they can continue, but how much more do they have left?
Got to waste time. Get step behind the referee. When he comes close, tie him up. The referee's then got to call you. Walk around the ring. You've just got to make the most of it, because if you let him jump back on you again, he's going to get momentum and pull you down again, and that's a lot of points to lose in the round.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Both men. There's the bell for round 4. We had not one, but 2 knockdowns in the previous round as both of these fighters went to the canvas.
I've seen that twice before, both fighters knocked down in the same round, and you think who's going to go back as confident, who's going to come out as confident. Both fighters went back on unsteady legs. How is this going to unfold?
Counter punching. There's a counter shot. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Is he going to punch himself out, though? This is a historical moment. Not many boxers get to 50 fights. An absolute warrior. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap of them, more than happy.
Tried to score with a jab. A perfect counter shot. Beautiful counter punch. They both want a knockout, you can tell. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. The referee might need to take a point here. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. You know that bell was sweet music to his ears.
The bell sometimes...
Time for the 5th round. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
This fight low percentage. Over 70% of their fights have ended early. And he scores with the counter. Which one of these athletes is going to be the first to get rocked? Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. Those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Well, this fighter loves throwing hooks. Their opponent has got to watch out for that. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing them down. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. And a round that seemed like on to the 6th round. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up, just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
No doubt the career is winding down. How many fights do they have left? The straight right just misses. The straight right just misses. Fighter, one of the top 5 in the world, no doubt about it. These two are the perfect dance partners.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
The straight right just misses. Punch, counter punch. The straight right just misses. Those counter punches have to hurt. Nice counter shot. That's not regal. And down goes Spaceman. How about that impact? Let's see that again. What a huge moment. Here comes round 7. He got knocked down in the last round.
I knocked somebody down like that round. You know this round coming out? He's getting everything. He doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised.